Today is definitely an exciting day. Rob, Mr. Chauffeur, man, do you have any idea what we're doing?
I know we're going to get another car, and that's all I know. I have no idea what the justifiable reason for another car could be. So I'm just driving him.
Do you have any guesses?
Okay, I saw that Tanner's coming. I don't know if he has anything to do with this. And then when I said field trip, you were like, well, it's somewhat of a field trip. So I don't know if he's involved in the car, or if you're getting Tanner a car, you're getting your son a car, or...
Rob, your new car!
I got another new car!
It's pretty cool, you guys will find out soon.
You're not even telling them or me? What?
Well, it's gonna be excitement.
I think we're going to Legoland. I'm so excited. Thank you, Adam.
To get this car, we're actually driving an hour and a half south to a place called Lake Wales. Rob, give a little description of...
We've been off the highway for like 20 minutes. We're still not at Legoland. I'm pissed. we're still looking for it. Whether we get to Legoland or the dealership first at this point. Oh, it's so weird to see myself in that.
This dealership's definitely quite a trip away from where I live, but I really like the people there, specifically the salesman that I always go through, Justin.
Big shout out to Justin in Ford. In Ford.
I guess I gave it away that it's a Ford.
Oh, it's a Ford, surprise, Justin, we're coming. Legoland's right there.
Oh my God.
We're turning right.
Dude, can we actually go there? Dude,
I'm down.
This whole thing was a trick just to get you on a mandate.
See, Adam set me up. He's not buying a car. He has plenty. We're going to Legoland.
You guys might remember Justin from when I got the F250.
Hey
Justin,
guys.
you ready to pull up the new whip?
Oh yeah, excited.
We just signed all the paperwork, so this is legit.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do.
What? What do we got here? All right, you got to give us a rundown. What is this, Justin?
New wheels, man. New wheels. This is Shelby GT350 with full exhaust, headers, and probably one of the best conditioned used cars I've ever seen in my life.
Looks like it's got tints too, or no?
Oh yeah, fully tinted up.
This car actually looks kind of familiar. I feel like there's another YouTuber that maybe had this car or something. Was this a trade-in?
I think this was a trade-in. I think if any of y'all know Adam LZ, y'all know Obsessed Garage, and you know Matt Mormon.
So this is actually Matt's old car. He traded into this dealer because he's looking to move into something else pretty soon. And amazing deal of a car coming from Matt, already coated, has full headers, exhaust, intake tune. I think he said it makes a little over 500 horsepower.
Yeah, man, it's our policy at our dealership is, even being employees here, we're not allowed to drive brand new Shelbys, and being able to drive this down to the gas station to fill it up for Adam was definitely a treat. Love Adam, love Matt. Couldn't be happier. Both of them are my customers personally. I've been able to work with them hand in hand, and it's been a pleasure by far.
I think the funny thing about this too is we kind of came full circle, because the first time I came here was to test drive a GT350.
That's right.
And then Matt came, he bought a GT350, and then I got the truck because I didn't like the GT350, and then Matt traded in his GT350 for a truck, and now I'm getting Matt's GT350.
And in full swing, here we go.
What's next?
It's back.
Ford GT, Ford GT. Let's do it.
I'd love to do it. That'd be great.
Oh boy, what did I do now? This doesn't even feel like mine. All right, so it's not gonna make sense at first, but technically this car isn't for me, even though I'm very, very happy and I'm gonna drive this car a lot and I love it. But I'll get into a little more details after I figure out how to start this car and get to take it for a little bit of a spin. But I got an interesting plan with it. I haven't gotten to hear this thing with the exhaust. Sounds cool. Weird visibility. So much easier to drive than all the race cars. Oh, I'm excited. I get to get on it. That's traction control. This thing is fun. It's a boat, but I like it. That exhaust sounds nice. All right, so I have some explaining to do, because I told you guys this car isn't for me, and it's not. Sounds good. All right, so first I feel like I should explain why I chose this car. You guys know that I was interested in it, but I didn't really love it as a daily more than my BMW. So this car kind of came up at this dealer, which I love. I love Justin, he's an awesome salesman. It's Matt's old car. Now Matt put an exhaust on it, he tinted the car, fully coated the car, intake, tuned. So the car makes a little over 500 wheel horsepower, and it was an absolutely phenomenal deal. I obviously don't need any more cars, right? So my friend Brett was actually over, the one that helped me with the install the leveling kit on the truck. And Brett actually has a fleet of cars that he rents on an app called Turo, which is basically like the Airbnb of the car world. So like you can rent other people's cars. And he makes decent money for it, like he does well for himself. And he kind of convinced me that it would be something that I could do and kind of like share my cars and help them pay for each other. But I'm way too attached to the other cars that I have, and they're just not very driver friendly. So we kind of got this idea that like, hey, it would be really cool if I got a car that I could kind of incorporate in the videos that I could also rent out on Turo, because I am in like a very touristy area in Orlando. So we kind of like toyed with the idea, and then I was like, you know what? Rather than getting like a really expensive car that's gonna cost a fortune for people to rent, it'd be cool to get something that I could rent for under $200 a day. So it's like still very affordable. So if someone's coming into town and wants it for like a vacation or a business trip, I don't know, it'd be sweet to be able to offer like one of my cars. I crunched some numbers, and if I can rent it for like half the month, I can pretty much break even and have the car pay for itself. Now I don't think it's gonna rent for that many days out of the month. So if anything, like if I start to lose money on the car, I can always flip it and get rid of it. But I thought it would be a really cool way to kind of toy with this idea, because in my head, I think it'd be awesome to have a fleet of cars of my own that I can rent out. Like this has obviously been done by other YouTubers. I know Rob Freddy was involved with Gotham, I think it's like Gotham City Exotics or something like that. I can't remember the name of my head. I think that he's out of it now, but in my head, this isn't my car. I wanted to get something that I can share with you guys. I have all these cool cars, and I just want to be able to share the experience with other people. And this car, it's special. I mean, it's already been involved with the channel. I know the previous owner, I know the dealer. It was just, everything made sense. I mean, ideally, yes, because of the fact it's a rental car. It would be cool if it was a brighter color and automatic, because it'd make it a lot easier, probably a bigger market. But I figure like 50% of the people that rent this car will probably come from the channel, and then the other 50% will just be random people on Turo, because I want to price it really aggressively and have it be something that people can rent. I want a lot of people to drive the car. I want them to be happy about it. I don't want to try to make a ton of money on it, because I don't think I will. This is all part of my grand scheme of being able to have a fleet of cool cars, like, I don't know, maybe a Hellcat and a Stingray and this, and then have a warehouse of all these cool cars. Plus I get to drive them around. So like this car, I probably won't drive it around too much, but I am so gonna take this to a track day. I wanna bring this to like Sebring. You guys hearing me say it'll make sense. Maybe it'll sound absurd and I'll have to explain it again, but the stars aligned. Now, if you aren't really familiar with the GT350, it is not a Mustang in any way, shape, or form. This is considered probably one of the best handling Mustangs ever produced, and people have been raving about it for the past year or two. I initially wasn't as crazy about the car as I thought I would be. You really got to drive this car though in the high RPM range, because that's when it gets fun. So I'm gonna see if I can get a little area where I can downshift and we can rev it out. All right, let's do it. That was red line. This thing, like, if you short shift it, it's nowhere near as fun as it is if you completely bring it all the way to 8,000 RPMs. It's sick. If you're a little bit confused about the whole Turo thing too, I think the biggest question about it is like, oh, what about insurance? What about if someone gets into an accident? So they take like a pretty significant chunk of whatever you charge to rent the car, and then that kind of covers all the liability stuff with the car, so their insurance covers everything. I'll explain a little bit more though. I just want to enjoy driving the car right now. I need to focus on the RPMs. They sound so good. This dude's got a Pulsar GTIR. Those things are way cooler than what I'm driving right now. If you're not familiar with those little cars, they are actually an SR20 turbo, all-wheel drive, kind of like Nissan rally car. They're sick. The brakes on this car, absolutely phenomenal. I know they're Brembos. I have no idea how many pistons they are. I really don't know that many of the specs of this car, but I feel like me talking about the specs would be kind of useless, because you could just look those up on your own. But the way this car feels, especially compared to all the other cars, it's so direct for a new car. Like, step on the throttle and it's, I mean, yeah, it's naturally aspirated, but everything is very responsive.
Red light camera ahead.
Also the steering too, when I drove it before, I never properly had it in sport mode, which does in fact change kind of the feel of the steering. So
your marked location.
She keeps talking over me. It does change the steering feel a little bit. It makes it feel a little stiffer, which is what I like. That is so fun. No turbo and it's still a ball. I don't know if the video does that justice, but that's sick. That drive home was way too much fun. I'm starting to regret the whole thing with renting this car, but I think it'll be what's best. Oh my gosh, though. It's one of those things where you just have to kind of drive it for a while. Like that was about an hour and a half, 2 hours in it, and I started feeling comfortable, and it's a lot of fun. Definitely gonna be careful though, because this thing is like just screaming, Adam, get a ticket, Adam, get a ticket, Adam, get a ticket. Nicole, what do you think? Do you support this decision? She told me it's okay to do. She likes the idea.
I'm so happy.
Really?
Yeah.
Start it. You gotta hear it. No, it's not cold. I've been driving for the past 2 hours. Sounds sweet, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't know what my makeup looks like because I just bought new makeup and they like put it on a lot heavier than I do, so.
Thanks for the disclaimer.
I feel like if I drive this to the gym instead of my 240, people would think it's cooler, but to me the 240's
Oh yeah, I'm totally with you. I don't know if people like know what these cars are though.
You're right. Does it have 350 horsepower naturally?
It's like
originally?
over 500. Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, that dude in blue said anything over 500 is crazy. Is it over 500 naturally or with the tune?
Naturally. Well, like with a tune, but it's naturally aspirated.
But how much is it? No.
I think it's like 450-ish. It's quick.
So we're faster than my dad?
Wait.
Let's take it to the drag race.
Okay.
Dragster.
Whatever you want.
Do we need to have like, do crowds need to be afraid in this car?
I don't know. I think since this car handles well, I don't think it's a crowd killer. I don't know though. I haven't seen all the videos yet. It does handle really nice though. It has like adjustable settings for everything. You feel the torque?
Yeah.
It's quick, right?
Yeah.
I love the down chest. They sound
What
sick.
did I do to my...
Just don't worry about your makeup.
I
Enjoy
put
the
on
ride.
lip balm.
Are you like literally kissing that right now for your lipstick?
Now it's good.
Oh, you weren't? Ready?
Look out, there's a car. What are you gonna do without a car that was fast?
It's good fun.
Oh wow, it is tinted.
Yeah, I love it. It's our like first tinted car.
Oh, so you know your neighbor has a cool Corvette you want to race?
Same color.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is this?
Great.
I thought you didn't like the G350.
I'm buying it to rent to people.
Are you serious?
I'm gonna-
That wasn't like a thing.
No. Alberto, do you think I'm crazy?
I still like. I don't know how is this a thing. Like I'm puzzled by this. I'm amazed because I love this car.
You're gonna love to drive it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Someday.
We're gonna have to make a whole video just letting everyone drive the GT350. Like that's the whole purpose behind this car, is I want everyone to be able to experience how fun it is to drive a car like this. So that's why I thought the whole renting it for really cheap thing would be cool.
And it's not like I always wanted a new Mustang. It's like the best new Mustang there is. Well, the best style, because it's not even a Mustang anymore. It's like the next big thing.
Dude, the front end on it looks so good.
It feels muscular, but it's also like really smooth to drive, even though it's a sports car.
It handles really well too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna absolutely get a ticket with this though. It's so hard to drive slow. The gears are so long.
What's the top speed on this? Like 200?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? To be V8 at such high power that powers, it's not rough.
Oh dude, it's so smooth to drive too.
Yeah, like when you put an LS on a 240, it's like driving a truck. And this is like smooth.
I think something to do with the flat plane crank as well, like kind of you lose a little bit of that low end torque that makes it kind of jerky like you're saying.
Yeah.
But it makes it pull all the way to red line, so it's really fun.
It revs a lot more.
And it sounds sweet.
It definitely sounds different than a regular V8. The timing is different.
like comfortable with the car and how it will snap. So first to second feels a little duddy. And
it's like loud, but not obnoxiously loud. It sounds great.
It's got like a really high pitched like scream to it.
Yeah.
I love the third gear throwing you back. It does that in fourth too. It's so fun.
You know what? I just had an idea. You definitely need to take this to Sebring.
I already said it like 5 times. That's what Nicole said.
Really?
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna get the most enjoyment out of this at Sebring.
The best thing is if I'm renting it, like it's my car, but I'll feel less attached to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing about it is too, if I have like friends coming into town or something and I want to loan them a car, I can still do it through Turo, and I can like give them a discounted rate, but all the insurance will go through them, so I don't have to worry about them getting into an accident or something.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't like, honestly, if I were to rent it, I don't even want to get on. I just want to enjoy driving around in it. And you know how I am. I don't speed around because I'm afraid of getting a ticket. So I'll probably have no problem when I just like want to impress people with the car. It's like, hey, check this out. People like, Alberto got it. I was like, no.
I think what's really cool about it, I feel like commonly like the whole like rental game is dominated by cars that are flashy, like, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
But I think the GT350 is a car that's really like driver oriented, and the average person, this isn't a, hey, look at me, I've got a really expensive car. This is a, wow, that person must really enjoy driving cars because they opted for a GT350 over something else, you know? So you thought I was joking when I messaged you last night and sent you the link?
What is this? What are you talking about?
I sent Alberto the link because I already listed the car last night. Otherwise, I knew I probably wouldn't because I'd fall in love with the car. And he thought it was like an imposter, like pretending to be me or something.
It's scary.
So you approve?
Yes, this is awesome. I definitely need to rent this.
Hi, Alberto, you know I'll let you drive it, right? You don't need to rent it.
Alright guys, so change of plans. I think we're no longer going to put the 2JC on this. We're going to put it on this now.
Mustang drift build? I don't think that's ever been done before. I bet a Mustang would make a really good drift car. If only someone had tried it.
GT350, sir. They're gonna sell us a GT350.
I was just making a joke. There's plenty of people that kill it with Mustangs. Shout out Vaughn, shout out Chelsea. We could be American Florida Mustang bros. All right, so connecting the dots a little bit more now. This will kind of start to make a little more sense. So this is my friend Matt. He's been in the videos. I don't know, you might have seen him kind of like in the background too a lot more recently. So Matt's actually been the person that's been helping kind of detail our cars and keep them clean, because it's just something I don't always have time to do, even though I still love to do it.
Well, I started my detailing business like 2-3 years ago, and Adam found out I started doing his cars and stuff, and I started being around more. I got into drifting, you know, BMX as well, and then he kind of took me on. So now basically what I've done, Matt still does like detailing stuff on the side, but he kind of just full-time helps me out, whether it's stuff with the cars, I help run errands and stuff. But the main thing is with this like rental idea, if it kind of does take off and we end up with a fleet, which would be awesome, Matt's gonna be kind of in charge of doing the key handoffs. So if you end up renting a car, chances are you'll meet Matt instead of me, just because I'm always so busy. But Matt will be kind of in charge of detailing the fleet. Absolutely. You get to drive the GT350. Oh, yes. And hopefully other cars. Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's that. That's that. Bye. So I do already have the car listed on Turo. I'll have the link in the description. Obviously, I'm kind of new to this. I have my friend Brett kind of helping me out along the way, but I'm sure there'll be some speed bumps and stuff to work out. We'll have a service to get people from the airport to the car. And again, this is kind of an effort for me to extend an opportunity to you guys and to the public to drive a really special car, because there's no GT350s anywhere around that you can rent at a solid price that will hopefully help pay towards the car, so we can have an excuse to own it and I can take it to the track and have fun with it. So I hope you guys think it's a good idea. Like I said, if it's not, whatever, we can just flip it. It would be really cool, really something special if it kind of worked, and it'd be something new and exciting, give us an excuse to get a new warehouse to keep all the pretty cars in. I don't know, it's one of those ideas that I just wanted to jump on and not just kind of wait and just talk about forever.
Make the streets louder.
We make the streets louder on the daily.
Because hashtag race car.
Thank you guys so much. Feel free to ask a million questions, because tomorrow I'll probably be able to just create a video dedicated to answering questions, because I'm sure I probably left a bunch of stuff out and there's still a lot of confusion. There's probably still more stuff that you want to see. I don't know, tests, sounds, accelerations, races, giving people rides, letting people drive. Oh, Nicole with the mouthful of cereal. Thank you so much, guys.